Hello. This first snip is from my Twitter feed, and as you can see there's calculated risk and Prague cap there. I'll read them from the bottom upwards. Calculated risk brings notice of the Wolfgang Munschau article in the Financial Times this morning, only days to avoid collapse of the Eurozone. Cullen Roche Prague cap says, I'm getting fear fatigue. I've been scared of the global economy for 5 years straight, and it's gotten old. And at the top, if there's one thing I know, it's that mankind will make enormous progress in the long term. You can only bet versus that for so long. Which made me put the rest of this together. This is the oil price and spread Brent and WTI. That's the Brent in red, which was split away from WTI in Cushing, but Ingenuity has got the oil away from Cushing and was selling it on the open market against Brent, so the price went up, basically. As you can see, the blue line going up to meet the red, and the falling price of Brent on the open market down from the 125 down towards 100. And that has given us this chart, which I've set to 3 years, the same as the last chart, the average retail price of regular gas in the United States. And you can see it's followed the rest of the world price. The Brent price up to what was that 125 and down to 100. So that's represented in up to $4 and down to $3.25. This chart is an interesting one, and I'm not saying it says anything in particular. The golden line is energy consumption going from 1965, and because of the way the axis is on this, it hasn't gone up that much from when the three lines were linked, zeroed at 100 or hundreded at 100 in 1965. It's not even reached 200, but we can say it's effectively doubled over that period. With the real GDP well over tripling and a half. But we can ask and doubt what this GDP thing is, because we've got real debt which has gone up over sixfold. And it's very hard to disentangle what this is. And I'll leave it to you just to think about, because GDP mostly is based on monetary transactions. But in a way, we'd like to think that the real economy is based on energy. And it's very difficult to work out what is or should be the realistic calculations for just how well we are doing. But the implication here, obviously, based on Cullen Roche Prague Cap's opening Twitters, can we keep improving? Or what did he say? Bet against? You can only bet against that because we're going to make enormous progress. Are we going to continue to make enormous progress without increasing our energy use? I think that's the angle. And if we go to the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, the myth of renewable energy, we can read, and I'm not going to read them, about solar power, geothermal power, wind power and biomass, hydropower. And should I read you this last paragraph? I will, seeing I'm here, because it isn't so much about the efficacy of those alternative energies, it's more about how alternative they are. The only genuinely sustainable energy scenario is one which energy demands do not continue to escalate indefinitely. And I think I will stop there, because the rest of it is not so much about getting energy from renewable energies. So I'll just repeat that opening sentence. The only genuinely sustainable energy scenario is one in which energy demands do not continue to escalate indefinitely. And that is kind of where I'm at here. And going back to that energy consumption, GDP and debt chart, you can see that from 1980 it went up a bit to 2000, but from 2000 it's hard to see, but it looks like it's leveled off a bit. Now if that continues to level off and the real debt red one rolls over as it is, because that's an old chart, will that real GDP chart roll over, as that line roll over as well, putting us in at least, at best I should say, the Japanese lost decades? Or can we have, as PragCap says, some progress in the long term, real progress, without more energy use? We've got to say it must be possible, but I don't think we know how to do it yet. And we better start getting some pretty clever ideas together quite soon. This week would be quite good. But it's Monday, so we've got the rest of the week to think about it. Bye.